Hi everyone. Making a little video to help you better visualize some of the projects that we were talking about doing around the farm. So this would be in addition to kind of any new projects, but it would help increase the value of the farm and also help protect the existing facility. So this is along the front of the barn. He's just kind of walking. I need to take out those old posts. David's kind of showing the drainage that currently exists. That needs to be fixed, which I need to do tomorrow actually, and reattach that pipe. But you can kind of tell it's washed away around the foundation of the current arena. So it needs to be, we need to use a tractor and kind of come in, scrape out all of that muck that Cody was walking through, put in stone, and tile it so it doesn't keep on washing away around the barn. So that's one project that needs to be done. Also this old water that's here, we took out an old water in Rosie's pasture about a week ago. This one also needs to be taken out and just kind of cap off the water line that's underneath there. This is a better overview. So kind of come in, take out those old posts, put a new fence around the front of the property and kind of help that foundation of the old barn. Yep. Good. This kind of gives you an overview of where we're at. So this is the front pasture by Horton Road as it is right now. And then David's going to go over the gate here and kind of show you some of the front of the current indoor arena. So this is the water that's in the front lot that needs to be taken out and then just have the water line capped out because it's not usable anymore. And kind of the same thing as what's along the front of the barn. This current indoor arena is washed out. So I need to go in with the tractor and reestablish the foundation. You can kind of see the runoff. It's eroded around the indoor. So we would come in with a tractor and fix that. So he's just walking around the front side of the current indoor arena. We had done maybe 4 years ago some landscaping around there, but obviously when you have horses turned out in that area, the landscaping doesn't last super long. So what I would do is come in, fix the foundation and level it off there around the current indoor arena because you can see it's washed away underneath that post there. And then fence off the arena and redo the landscaping around that area. So this is the back pasture that leads up into the hay mow. And David's just kind of showing there's a few posts that were cut off when we redid the fencing here. They need to be taken out. And then over time, that retaining wall that leads up into the hay mow has eroded. Especially this concrete part, but kind of all along this row needs to be changed with the tractor and the foundation needs to be reestablished, especially that retaining wall that's up by the hay mow to kind of help support the foundation of the existing barn. Kind of the same thing with where those silos used to be that leads out into the field. So here Cody's showing you the fence line. That double gate there is how Matt's currently getting into the fields. So that's the outdoor arena as is. And then Cody's going to walk this fence line. This fence line goes along the side of the neighbor's driveway. All of that fencing and a lot of the trees and overgrowth there need to be taken out with the tractor. That fencing's probably been there since Mom and Dad started the property 40 years ago. It's just a lot of the posts have rotted and it needs to be taken out. And then a lot of those trees are dead and then there's a lot of overgrowth. So all of that needs to just be taken out. And then what we would do would be to create a more permanent driveway for Matt that runs along that fence line that's adjacent to Dosha's driveway. So he's just kind of showing you the massive expanse of fencing and trees that need to come out. And then this is Rosie's current pasture that's next to Mom and Dad's house. Cody's just kind of showing you there's quite a lot of dead trees in this pasture as well that need to be taken out, as well as the fence line being redone. This is Mom and Dad's backyard, and this is the fence line or property line that Dad was talking about on Tuesday or Wednesday whenever we had our meeting on Zoom. And it's quite overgrown. There's a lot of dead trees to the adjacent property, so the property line is a little bit blurred. We would have to come in here with the tractor and kind of clean up all of these dead trees and overgrowth, and just kind of reestablish that property line a little bit better. I put in maybe 5 to 6 years ago a new pasture fence within the existing property line fence because it was too overgrown and I didn't have the equipment to take down a lot of the trees at that time that needed to be taken down in order to properly redo the fence line. So Cody's kind of showing you a little bit of that here. So this is still inside Rosie's pasture. Yeah, so there's a lot of overgrowth that needs to just be cleaned up. Kind of 40 years of like doing maintenance, but not having the equipment to take down a lot of the dead overgrowth that needs to be cleared out in order to truly reestablish the proper fence lines that already existed and also the property lines between boundaries. So I'm going to speed this part of the video up, but it shows you kind of the breadth and depth of the amount of dead trees and fencing that needs to be taken down in order to make it correct. There's a lot of overgrowth and there's a lot of old fencing that needs to be taken out. So this video shows kind of the back side of the barn. That double gate is where Matt comes into the field right now. And then Cody's kind of running down this fence line, showing all of the trees and stuff that need to be taken out from this side. It's quite a lot of them. And then David's just kind of giving an overview of the fields as they are. They're quite beautiful, even though everything's kind of dead right now. There's no snow yet, so that's good. And then you can kind of see as you look over here, when he pans around again, it'll give you a better view of just the massive amount of clearing that has to be done along those fence lines. But also there's a giant pile of kind of scrap materials from over the 40 years that's in this corner that Cody is standing on that need to be buried. There's just a lot of scrap material. So all of that from 40 years of fixing fences and doing projects needs to be disposed of. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Hopefully it helps you better visualize some of the projects that we were talking about in our Zoom meeting. I think most of the projects in these videos are what's necessary to kind of help preserve what already exists at Harmony Hills and make sure that it's maintained well for a super long time and kind of help reestablish some of the boundaries that already exist. I'll have more plans to come in the week ahead.